Thanks for joining us on Coast to Coast Pest Talk.
So, okay, we got a lot to cover then. First off, where are you? Where's the new bat cave here? What am I looking at?
So this is this wall's not very exciting. This is just a window. But this is my office here.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah.
Dang.
So it's an old barn that they built a loft, like a second story in.
Okay.
So downstairs below is storage right now. And then up here, I'm going to have myself and then probably another person or two from the office team eventually. And then, yeah, so this is where we're building now.
Oh my gosh. So how far away are you from where you were before?
I'm like 11 miles. So I was in southeast Portland, and now I'm basically south. I'm not technically in Portland anymore, but I'm basically South Portland.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So same, I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say same school district, but it doesn't matter for you guys.
Yeah. That hasn't affected anything.
So the answer is yes, same school district.
Yeah. We're in a different county, which is really nice. So
okay.
I got an automatic 1% raise just moving out of the primary county, which is cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice. We're happy to be here.
Okay, so what happened in the back half of the summer? So we have to get an update because we've done this the last couple of years. It's pretty much we get to like July and we're kind of like, you know what? This whole podcast thing is for the birds. I got to go do some work. And then it's usually like after Labor Day, we'll start to reconvene or whatever. So what's going on the last 2 months probably?
Yeah. Like we joked about last year, just wearing a bee suit all day, every day.
Sleeping in it.
Yep. Yeah, we had a bunch of older bee suits that were just they were not cutting it, and people were getting stung through the bee suit.
Oh no.
So I ended up replacing almost my entire set of bee suits to like the mesh ones.
Yeah. Okay.
So they have like a couple different layers so you're a little further away from the skin. But yeah, otherwise the last part of the summer was good. Just cooking these last couple months. So we talked about how I almost burned out my team, which was that was crazy.
And when was that? Was that August? Was that the month of August?
Yeah, so it was like early August.
Okay. And what all happened with that? What share with the group?
Yeah, I guess we were on a phone call, weren't we? So
we were.
So we've been growing a lot on the crawl space and attic space restoration side of the business, and so this was the first summer that we had like just basically a full-time crew running on clean outs and adding insulation and removing insulation and sanitation work and all that. And so when we hit August and it started to get really hot here and we started still running attic clean outs and stuff, and we were running it because I schedule all the stuff. So I was scheduling it pretty indiscriminately because it just wasn't even on my radar. And so we had an account where I had accidentally scheduled an attic clean out for 100-degree day.
And in the afternoon?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, they were on site in the morning, but
day,
it didn't matter. It's like by the time they got on site, it was already like 110 in the attic.
Oh my God.
At like 8 a.m.
Oh no.
And so they called me that morning and they're like, "Hey, so we're not going to be able to do this today." And I was, we had just moved. It was like the Monday after we had moved, and I was like, "You guys, I'm so sorry. That was completely botched it." And I'd scheduled it. It wasn't intentional. I had scheduled it a few weeks in advance. So we had that, and then we were just really slammed. So that kind of like the guys were already getting tired, and then that like burned them big, right?
Oh no.
And I had from there, I had like 10 more business days of work scheduled out already for them.
Oh,
And so I had to basically like bring them all together and say, hey, get what we can get done today. We'll schedule some more days for today's stuff. Just do whatever you can. And then just know that like we still have 10 more days of crazy. So like prepare for 10 more days of crazy. And then I'm going to get on to hiring somebody. I'm going to get some stuff in place to make sure this doesn't happen anymore. Um, so that's what I did.
Wow.
So I've hired 2 people since then. I've actually hired 3 people. One is an office person though. But one on the pest control side and then one on the restoration side. And then we've been leveraging a couple like part-time. So especially on the restoration side, just to bring in when we need it for extra hands.
Wow.
So that's been huge. That honestly, that in and of itself has kind of solved it. And then I'm just being more intentional. I'm pricing projects higher now and putting more time on the books for them.
Yeah. Wow. Did you have like irreparable damage with anybody? Did you lose anybody?
Nope. Yeah, we still have everyone. They're still happy. But yeah, that was a low point for like the pest control side of things. They didn't really feel it. It was just kind of business as usual for them. They were busy because it was summer, but like
Yeah.
their morale was just fine. But like the restoration crew, which was 3 guys, they were like toast.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So yeah, so it's taken a while to just kind of like, over the last 6 weeks, so I rebuild that trust really, with the team. And a lot of like listening to them, making adjustments as I'm able to make adjustments. And yeah.
Wow. So are they reporting now to your new office here? Is that like, or is everybody still like working remotely or?
Everybody's still remote. So like product is here, so they'll swing by here if they need to grab product. On the restoration side, like a lot of this stuff is like replacing vapor barrier under houses and stuff. So I have all that stocked. So they'll pick up the products on their way out to jobs. But yeah, everybody's still remote like they were for now.
Wow. Okay. And you said you got a new office person?
Yeah, I hired a VA to do some collections.
Okay.
So yeah, his name's Cloyd. He's crushing it. And we lost our main office gal in April or May of this last year. And so we've been able to cover phone volumes and stuff just fine, just because we're not like crazy high volume. But the accounts receivable was one of the things that she had been handling. So that just kind of got out of control. So.
Oh no. So you went back to great big aging AR. Did you have a big backlog?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I had probably close to $50,000 of aging AR, which
like aging or current? Like
no,
was it
just total AR?
just total? Okay, yeah.
But a lot of those, that's not all that many like restoration projects, but yeah, a lot of it was just getting older, and I didn't have a good system in place for like making sure the commercial accounts got their invoices consistently, so that a net 30 didn't turn into a net 65.
Yeah, because you waited 3 weeks to send the.
Yeah, and they're like, great, well now we got it, and now we're gonna, it takes 30 days for us to process this.
Yeah, you should see Heather in our office. She'll like follow the guys around through the day, and like when a job is completed, she will book that job, and that invoice will probably be at the customer like within an hour or two of the job being completed. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Cloyd is doing now. So right now he's a couple weeks in, so he's just sort of playing catch up. We're getting processes in place for him, but yeah, it's really nice.
Where is he?
He's in the Philippines.
Wow. Okay. So
so
you go through a service, or how'd you do that?
Yeah, what are they called? It's Steve. So they're called Focus VA,
Okay. Is that a local company, or is it just
and it's Seth Watson.
okay?
So I think he's in Texas. He runs a pest control company,
Okay.
and then he started a VA company. So he hires out VAs to other pest control companies mostly.
Wow.
So I got connected from him through PCO bookkeepers.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, how does that, like, what can he do? How does it work? Like, do you have hours for him to work, or I mean, there's a big time difference, or
Yeah, so he just works. He works 9 to 5, our time.
our time? Okay. Wow.
Which is pretty common over there. That's like, sounds like from what he said, about 75% of their economy is
Oh my gosh.
offshore call center stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Do
So
you have to like set him up with anything, or it's all virtual, right? Like,
no, because it's through. So if I just hired him directly, you have to worry about all the international taxes and craziness. But Focus VAs, they basically sit me down and they say, here's your flat rate labor cost.
gotcha. So he works for them,
Yes.
and you're subbing it, like you're contracting a service from
Yep.
them. So you don't have to worry that like somebody from the Philippines is going to be like, "Hey, I need a workers' comp payment from you," or who knows what taxes or.
Yeah, none of that. Even things like overtime and stuff, the laws are completely different. So like they don't have like, I don't think they have like, if you work more than 40 hours, it's overtime. But they've got something called 13th month. I don't know if you've heard of that.
13th. I wish I had a 13th month. That's
It's
great.
cool. So it's basically on December, I think, the last month of their year, the businesses, it's kind of like a general cultural thing. The
Okay.
businesses pay them 2 months of labor for 1 month.
Okay.
So they get a full month of pay for free.
So instead of overtime,
And I
here
don't
and
know
there.
if that's in place of overtime or what, but it's kind of the way. So like I pay an additional 13th month like fee on all the labor hours, so
Yeah.
that in December the VA company will pay him double.
Are you sure that the service you're buying this from isn't just scamming you and be like, Gabe,
They're like,
we're gonna bill you for 13 months?
there's actually 14th month too. Yeah.
We had a price adjustment. There's 14 months now. You're paying for the year. That's funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, weird, cultural different things that we just don't have.
How much do you interact with that person? Like, are you talking to him, or how's it?
Yeah, so we interact over Slack. So that's our team uses Slack for
Yeah.
team chats. So we do a lot of Slacks. We'll do like the Slack has a little like huddle feature, which is just like a quick jumping on quick voice calls.
Yep.
So we use that. He's connected into our phone line because it's
wow.
all voice over IP. So
Okay.
so we we'll call and talk. But yeah, we're chatting all through the day.
Wow. So are you gonna have him move into more than just AR? You're gonna have him doing other things?
Yeah. So he's gonna do he's doing some of my quote preparation. So he's taking for when we do like rodent jobs and stuff, he's taking their account, adding account pictures in,
Okay.
adding all the measurements in for the quotes, and then I'm just going in and I'm able to kind of finalize that. And then I'm gonna have a note right in front of me to have him do. I build out my KPIs like in the mornings, so I'm gonna actually have him build out all the KPIs and just send me the report because I just have it in a spreadsheet. So I'm going to have him pull all the reports, input all the KPIs, and send it to me
Nice.
each day. And just other random admin stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. How are you on pace for the year? Are you going to hit your million?
Yeah. So Lord willing, we're on track.
Okay.
Assuming the wheels don't fall off, but it feels like, August when we talked, is really rough, very stressful.
Yeah.
September, I intentionally pulled back. So I didn't send a single quote out for like 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Just to catch up, just to
yeah,
do the
just
work.
unbury us.
Yeah.
And because like literally right now, I mean, even I've made all those adjustments. I've increased our pricing. Our close rate on those quotes is still sitting at 41% right now.
Okay.
It's like we're just still, we can generate that really fast, which is cool. It's awesome. But so September has been like a sit back, take a deep breath. I pulled back some of the scheduling for the guys. And then we'll push into October and November and December. But yeah, we're on track, and we hit for the first time ever trailing 12 months 1 million.
Okay.
So I just pulled it maybe 10 days ago, and we hit trailing 10 months, trailing 12 months. So.
Nice. So if you pull back on September, how are you feeling about that? Because I know in years past that was a hard thing for you to be able to take your foot off the gas and be like, wow, this car has brakes. What are you talking about?
It's been okay. Yeah. I saw the need a lot. And we just felt it too. Like our family was so tired. We moved and we were trying to keep the business running, busy while we were moving. And it felt like you're just spinning on the hamster wheel. And so like, it's really nice. We're mostly moved in now. So like the home is peaceful again, which is huge. Yeah. And then I definitely felt like it was a needed pullback.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing that's been really nice, so having PCO bookkeepers, so they've been really helpful in giving me consistent snapshots of my financials.
When did you start with them?
May.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So prior to that, I had just an independent guy that did books, and he was fine. He'd get me my P&Ls, but he wasn't helping me monitor like how's my cash looking, how are my KPIs looking compared to the industry, all that type of stuff.
Sure.
And so PCO has been really helpful in giving me, I think, a lot of the confidence to be able to say, okay, we're profitable. Our cash is in a healthy spot. It's okay for September to have that be like a take a deep breath kind of month. We don't have to burn this thing super hot. And I just never had that, even if I had the P&L perspective, it's like, well, the P&L is not showing you your cash, right? It's not showing you your cash strength. So it's been really nice. It's nice to have that. So I felt like I was able to do that with more confidence and less anxiety, but I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, it's funny because I know we have talked a couple times. Like some of what you're talking about is like monitoring your current ratio in the company to know whether you have cash that's being lazy or if you don't have enough and you should be worried. Monitoring, benchmarking, your KPIs, benchmarking, your operating ratios and things like that, to know like, okay, am I in the ballpark or not? Yeah, all that stuff is stuff we've talked about a bunch, and I think it sounds like having someone to help you just get that information together is huge, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because I'm like, you're probably not. I don't know if you're similar to me in this, but like, I hate. I don't actually mind looking at the numbers, like reviewing it and stuff. But like bookkeeping and stuff, like I can't do it. And I tried. I had a bookkeeping job like 10 years ago at my previous business I was at, and it was just terrible. It killed me. And so having somebody that's able to do that, and then having the data points where they're able to pull in the industry, which also for me is a huge weakness because I didn't come from within the industry. I came from out of industry. So I have all this ignorance. So it's been invaluable. Yeah.
For us, for me specifically, that's the part I like is looking at the numbers, looking at benchmarking it to the industry. And like, I'll do a lot of that same sort of thing. I bet if we looked at PCO bookkeepers reports and the reports we generate, it's probably very similar information. We're pretty precocious in that regard. I'm not an accountant and I'm not claiming to be, but for me and what I need to know, we have a lot of that information right at hand. Fortunately, I married somebody that is so into the books, like bookkeeping. She'll tell me, Holly will say, if all I could do is just sit here all day and do bookkeeping and get the numbers and do payroll and blah, 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 she'd be happy as a clam. Her favorite sound is the little like badoop sound that QuickBooks makes each time you enter a journal ledger, right? Right. You enter a check and it goes badoop. And she's like, oh, I love that sound. Like, okay, cool. So we have our books, like, I think probably as tight as any business can have their books. Like we are pretty much I'll run numbers. It'll be in the morning. She'll be like, wait, hold on. Let me do these, this last two things and it'll be 100%. And like, it's got to be like spot on for her. So it's cool. But like in your situation and probably in most people's situation, they didn't get into this to be like sitting behind a computer entering things into QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah. So so instead of marrying it, you went out and hired it.
Yeah,
right. You hired them. No, they do all the bookkeeping, generate all those reports and you'll just get like a dashboard, right?
Yeah. And then one cool thing that's been really helpful for me, again, just because like I feel like I fly blind with so much of this, but one of their account managers who's a CPA he meets with me for like 20-30 minutes every month and goes through everything. And he says, hey, these are the red flags. Like a big reoccurring red flag is like, hey, you really need to get your reoccurring revenue as a higher percentage of revenue.
Yeah. Where are you at with that? Because last time we talked, it was like 30% or something.
Yeah, that's basically where we're at right now.
Is that? Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that's got to be like number one priority for 2026.
Yeah. And it's a big thing. It's a tough, because like our revenue is growing really fast, right? Just at large. So our reoccurring actually is growing on pace with our revenue.
Oh, okay.
Because it has stayed pretty consistently at about 30%. But our it's not outpacing our general revenue growth.
Right. You're not gaining ground on it.
Yeah. Which is like, it's hard because like I don't know how you would outpace the normal revenue growth that we're doing, so the alternative would be to just not have that revenue growth and just focus solely on growing the reoccurring. I think that would be
right.
Which is
which is the path we took.
Yeah, right.
Right. We said forget it. We're just gonna give up on that like quick growth, steroids type stuff, and we're just gonna do commercial maintenance. Like that's all we're gonna do.
Yep.
What was I was just gonna ask you something about that.
I'll come back.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I remember. And by the way, I have been on back to back interview sessions today on the hour all day, like literally nonstop all day. Because we got the November 5th Upstate Conference for the New York Pest Management Association that Holly and I have been planning and we're putting together. We were doing like YouTube channel interviews for all the presenters. So we're going to release those on the New York Pest Management Association YouTube channel over the next couple of weeks. But to make it efficient, Holly's like, I'm just going to call them all and just schedule them. So I did on the hour, like a doctor, like every hour I had an appointment. And so I've been talking all day to people about pest control. It's actually kind of fun. But so I'm curious, do you lump in all the revenue types into one basket? Like pest control and restoration and installation, they're kind of different businesses, so are they broken out?
Yeah. So we have all the restoration stuff as like a separate income classification.
Okay.
And then the pest control stuff.
Do they do like costing separately for that? So like you can kind of...
No, not yet. Although I'm getting to the point where we can. I just didn't have enough dedicated technicians for particularly the restoration side to be able to really accurately, they were doing too much crossover.
Right.
Yeah, we are. We're kind of getting to this point where we're going to have to start doing that just so I can ensure that both sides are actually profitable, independent, from each other.
Wow. Are you out in the field a little bit still? What are you doing?
No, I've been trying as hard as I can to stay out of the field.
Yeah, right on.
It's hard. So I went out. I've been out one day this month. Yeah, but I mean, most of this year I've been pretty darn good. Just a handful of times,
Nice.
and
Nice.
I'm like, it's so hard because Braille will reach out to me. Hey, so we're pretty busy. Are you okay if I schedule you out in the field? And I have had to intentionally, and I don't know if this is the right call, but I'm just like, I know long term what I'm hoping to build, and it doesn't have me in it.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know? And so I'm trying as much as I can to stay out.
Yeah. No, that's good. You almost have to like set boundaries and hold them,
Yeah.
and it's not bad, but people are going to try to like push up against those boundaries. People are naturally going to test boundaries. That's what boundaries are there for. And yeah,
Yeah.
you have
And
to
it's
kind of
hard
hold
because
it.
she's getting all the calls, and we're like, "Do you have anything sooner than 5 days out?" And she's like, well, I would if Gabe wouldn't." Yeah,
Yep.
it's an interesting balance.
Wow.
Also, one thing I'm realizing is I haven't been out in the field in almost a year,
Yeah.
like consistently. I haven't run
Right.
around
Right.
in a year. And like I can go out, I still have obviously like I've got good customer service. I can interact great with customers.
I know where you're going with this.
On the technical side, I'm just sloppy,
You're
man.
out of practice. Yeah.
I'm so out of practice.
Uh-huh.
And then like, it'll always be like the random truck that happens to be here that nobody's using right now that I'll go out in. And
Yeah.
so like, oh
It's
crap,
missing stuff.
I can bring an extra battery for my flashlight, or I forgot this product, so I have to jimmy rig it with this product. And just like, I feel like an idiot going out in the
Yeah.
field now.
Yep, I totally 100%. Like it's amazing how fast, especially if you've done something for a long time or at a high level, how much you get rusty. How fast you just like, wow, I'm not quite there, right? Like
Yeah.
the performance falls off, and yeah, I totally feel that.
Yeah. So it's funny because customers will, with me being the owner, there's still enough content and stuff online that people know who I am as the owner. And so they'll ask, well, can I have Gabe come out for the inspection? Can I have Gabe come out for that? And I'll have to tell him, I'm like, my lead technician has more hours clocked than I do.
Yeah, you want to say no, you don't want Gabe. You want somebody that is good at this.
Like, yeah, you
Let me
want,
send you a good technician.
yeah. Like it's literally, you're going
Yeah.
to get like, it'll make you feel better that the owner's out there, but I promise you the actual service will not be, won't be as good.
What we're actually doing is not going to be as good. No, you're totally right though, because yeah, you bring that spare truck, and then you're like, oh man, I only got one glove left, and trying to figure, oh dang it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're
Oh my
trying to
gosh,
avoid just looking like a complete doofus on site because you're the
you are,
owner.
you
You
are, yeah, yeah. You know what I've noticed? I'll tend to like drop things more, and like just all these little things that normally like your tools are right there on your belt and you can grab them, and like
Yeah.
close your eyes and you'll know right where everything is.
Yeah.
After you're not out there for a while, man, you don't know what you're doing. You're like, oh my gosh, everything's a mess. It's terrible.
Ladder work, dude. I get on ladders, my legs are shaking. Like,
You used to
golly,
go up them like a squirrel, right?
like,
You'd run up that thing.
yeah, totally.
Oh, maybe have you considered this? Also, you are getting old, Gabe. I mean,
Yeah, I just turned 32.
30. Oh my God, geez. 32. Good Lord. I mean, next stop is retirement, I think.
I know. Yeah, they said you're supposed to retire by 30, and I just missed that boat. So
Oh my God. Okay, who's they that says this? What moron saying that?
the Hustle Bros,
Oh
retire by
no.
30.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was surprised you lumped yourself in with that.
Just in terms of the aggressive growth.
Okay, I could see that. It's funny because Griffin and I, our service manager Griffin, and I were talking about the P&L this morning, yesterday, something like that. We were talking about operating ratios and things. And as we were looking at like what we wanted to do, we were evaluating the usage, technician usage. How many hours during the day are billable time versus, kind of wasted time or
Right.
lost hours. And I was actually sort of like really proud that he put it together that there's a line that you don't want to cross of you can push that as hard as you can to be like, hey, 90% of our technicians' time is build time on site, like really, really crank the screws and your bottom line will get better, right? Your profit will get better.
Short term.
Well, yeah, possibly short term, right? Well, and that's the thing. But then you're going to pay for it. Like you have to pay for it one way or the other. So the way we were looking at it is balancing that. Like, okay, will I take a couple percentage points less on the bottom line in order to not have the cost of extra turnover in clients, extra turnover in technicians, culture problems, all those things that people talk about all the time that they're complaining about. If you would just like let off the gas a little and let the engine cool down just a little bit, just solve themselves.
Right.
Like the other day I was up at night and I'm writing and something occurred to me. I hear people ask all these questions and I hear like all these things. How do I do this? How do I market this way? How do I get sales? How do I, whatever. And I think the underlying question that they're really trying to ask, the subtext of it is, how do I break all the rules of human connection and motivation and still not pay any price for it? That's really the question under the question.
Yeah.
Like that's deep down there. I want to not have any relationship with anybody. I want to put nothing into, that letting people feel like they're part of something and all these things. I don't want to, you don't want to do the right things, but you also do not want to pay any penalty for doing the wrong things.
Yep.
Doing things that are bad for the staff. And Sarah, our sales girl, asked me about this before, and she's like, well, why do so many people go that route, right? Like why does an owner decide that? And I think a lot of it, what I told her was, if I was to sit in my office and make a decision to, hey, it's stupid that you guys come in here and you waste 20 minutes in the morning talking, drinking coffee.
Right.
We got to get right to it. You clock in at your job site, not at the office. Let's say we make that change. We save, 25 minutes or a half an hour every technician every day. That's significant, right? Their life gets significantly worse. They don't have that camaraderie time. They don't talk about accounts from yesterday. They don't share information. We don't do as good of a job as we were because we didn't even realize that was happening. Right. There's these benefits that are happening that you don't even know.
Yes.
Their life gets worse. I get more money. Right. I didn't do anything, right? I didn't have to pay any price. All I got was benefit. All the price was borne by the employee. Well, of course people are going to make that decision. And I don't know if you ever heard there's an old Twilight Zone. Did you ever hear the one with the box with the button?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So this old Twilight Zone episode, and there's a guy comes in. Twilight Zone was an old TV show. Radio. Yeah, it's on the radio. It was actually, I think it might have started out as a radio thing, actually. But so there's it's old black and white. Guy comes in with a box with a button, and the salesperson says, okay, if you push this button, you'll get $1 million, and somebody you don't know is going to die. He's like, oh, okay, whatever. He goes, I'm going to leave it here for a week and come back. So the guy's hemming and hawing. Geez, should I push the button? He's talking to his wife, and his wife's like, how's he even going to know? He opens the box up. There's nothing in it. It's just an empty box, just with a button, just a random thing. He's like, I'm going to press it. So goes about halfway through the week, and he presses the button. As soon as he presses the button, doorbell rings. Guy's there. He has a check for $1 million. And the guy's like, oh my God, how'd you even know? He's like, oh, we know. And then he goes, oh, by the way, I need the box back. He goes, why do you need the box back? He goes, well, I'm going to give it to somebody you don't know. So the whole thing to me is like, you have that button there and you can press the button and people will give you more money and somebody else you don't know dies. But at some point that's coming back, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've always felt like, I'll take a little bit less on that bottom line. Like, I think right now our profit margin might be like 12 or 14% or something like that, right? And in our industry, people will be like, oh, you could do 20%, you could do 25%, you can whatever. And this isn't about the actual number, but it's about the delta. Like, if we're at 12%, we could do 17%. Okay, what did I gain what did I lose to gain that little bit?
Yeah.
And so if you're not looking at both sides of that, my staff pays the price for that. I don't pay any price. I just cash the checks.
Yeah.
And that's a recipe for bad decision making, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's always the intangible, on the front side, incalculable costs, right?
Yep.
And it definitely takes wisdom to be able to see those before you screw yourself over.
Yeah. Mostly we see them once we mess it up, but yes, it takes a while to sort of understand, okay, what are the decisions that I'm making and how are they, what's the full cost of these decisions? And it's hard because it doesn't always appear quickly in your P&L.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the P&L, it's like, well, I did this thing and nothing changed. I just made a bunch more money.
Yeah.
So there's never a decision that you make where you make more money and there's no downside. There wasn't something you had to give up. There's just absolutely 100%, no matter what. If you're getting more money for something, you are also giving something.
Yeah.
And if you can't see what that something is, it may not be a great decision. You don't know, right?
Yeah.
If it's invisible, it may be you're giving something, you just you can't see what it is. And that's a scary place to be for me. I'm like, I want to know what I'm trading.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think just erring, like you said, erring on the side of generosity, we refer to it like it just in our home as being a giver versus a grasper.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the kind of person that just every penny is yours and tight-fisted, or are you open-handed? Are you a giver?
Yeah.
Because givers can still you can still make tons of money. It's just a question of why are you making a ton of money? Are you doing it so that you have a lot of money to be able to bless other people with?
Right.
The more money that flows in, the more money flows out. Or is it all just stockpile your kingdom?
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. And it takes, I think a lot of that comes down to a large amount of emotional health and security to be able to give like that, to have that, like be able to give unconditionally, or be able to allow there to be risk that you're bearing without like hedging and protecting yourself all the time. You've got to be secure in that, hey, yeah, I might get kicked in the nads sometimes and it's just going to happen, right? But like you get so much further if you can be open like that. We've seen people that have, traumatic childhoods and, adverse childhood experiences early can tend to be a little more on the protectionist side like that. They don't want to give, they don't want to be open and whatnot. So it's tough. So you're working through, people's troubles with that.
Yeah. Yep. That's very true. Very, very true.
So we talked about a lot of crazy stuff today. All right. Well, I'm going to go eat some dinner and you go have some lunch and enjoy your new space. Sure. You don't have as many kids now, like running around in the office.
Yeah, they still come up a good amount, but not quite.
It's separate from the house, right? Like you're an outbuilding. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So there was actually a woodpecker earlier that was banging on my roof here.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Awesome, man. Well, get back to it and get some of these things out there.
All right. Good to see you.
All right. Thanks, man.
Take care.
See ya.
You've been listening to Coast to Coast with Andy, can't pronounce his last name, and Gabe Seymour. Join me, Pete Chopin, probably in another 5 years from now when they invite me on again.